Charlotte Motor Speedway. They're lean, they're mean, they're 5 to 7 horses, a man and machine. They're 4 wide before they start to slip and slide. The Coast to Coast Racing League 350A Modifieds, Pro Late Models, and the 360 Sprint Cars.
We are live on the Coast to Coast Racing Network. I am Zach Chapman here with Shaggy TV. Glad to be back. Sorry about my absence last week. Had a little hiccups, but hey, I'm all back, ready to roll, and looks like the boys are tonight here as well. 14-car field is what I'm seeing, and I'll tell you what, may not be the quickest time we've ever seen, but the man's out here doing it one arm. We got Willie out here with us, Bill Calder. How awesome is it, man? This guy, he has had a literal year from you-know-where, and the man, he just takes it on the chin, smile on his face, plugs away every day, and man, he's getting his health back. And we are happy about it. We got him out here right now. Brian Moore Sr. looking to the inside, Mr. Wednesday Night. He's currently P2 in the timing charts. But, man, it's been a while since I've done this. I almost forgot to credit why we're here. Big shout out to Mauer Farm Management for picking up the dirt side of the sponsorship this season here for the Old Timers Tuesday. Well, we got a hidden sponsorship for the asphalt in the second part of the race. That's Masked Avenger Racing. I don't believe it's officially been announced who that is. And, well, if it has, they haven't given Shaggy the update. Is Andy Patton rolling around in that 87 machine? hunting down the 325 of Bill Calder. Might see a pass here through 3 and 4. Bill's going to slide up. And he's going to cut underneath in that Inferno Motorsports machine. He lifts out, lets Bill go back on by. Probably just, trying to just get Bill comfortable again, man. Going racing around him. Give him some pointers here and there. It's awesome to see that 325 back out here. Another salty dog. The 41 of Pat Boyce. If I'm being perfectly honest with you, Shaggy, I should have done much better homework there. I was dealing with a lot of headaches last week. I should have invested in who won the dirt side. I know my father won the asphalt race because any race that I broadcast, he can't win for some unknown reason. And as soon as he was done, he had to give me a call while I was laying there with an ice pack on my head. And he was able to plug it away in the asphalt. No idea who got it in the dirt. I do see the white flag waving. That's going to be the checkered flag. End of the session here. And on the dirt side of things, no qualifying. It's a random heat draw. So best of luck to you. And it looks like 75 here, Steve Bixler. He may want to go get a lottery ticket here this evening. But somebody on the opposite side of things here, rounding out the field, heat race number 1, inside of row 4, in that 161, the Desert Demon, Terry Landis. Outside of row number 3 in the 7, Bob the Good, into his inside, the 41 of the Librarian, Pat Boyce. Row number 2 to the outside in the 747, the Bassman, Roger Craig, into his inside in the 888, Steve Maurer. Willie, Bill Calder, welcome back. It's the outside of row number 1. And starting on the pole here, heat race number 1, the mayor, Steve Bixler. So I'm sure we're going to come across the little hiccups here and there. I will be trying to keep up with this overlay, but if they came out with any updates here this past week or so, I probably am slow on the SDK updates. But hey, good to see you out there, Joe. Thanks for tuning in. As we roll around here, we should see the Steve King Foundation pace car pull off. It does. The green flag is high, ready to fly. 6 laps to play in the clay. Heat race number 1 underway. Bill Calder with a slow start there in the beginning. Kind of expected that. He just wants to fall back to the back and run. But man, here in the middle of the pack, it is heating up. The Bassman. Maybe some contact there with the 7 of Bob the Good, but either way, they both continue. And now the Librarian looking to take the 7 to school, but just can't find the traction on the bottom through 1 and 2. Out front, Steve Bixler, almost a full second lead over that 888. Steve Maurer looks up in that rearview mirror, and he's seeing the Bassman reel him in. Can Roger Craig move on up to P2 here? Still plenty of time as they come out of 4, cross flags in the air, 3 laps to go. Terry Landis coming up on the back of the 7 here. He's all over Bob DeGood. It's all about what kind of run you can get out of 2, and you see the 161 just a little loose on exit, not able to get up there and float with a pass. Meanwhile, the Bassman looks low in 3 and 4, couldn't find the grip off, and now they rotate. Terry Landis goes to the bottom in 1 and 2. Can't find anything down there. Do we see a big send? Slide job from the Desert Demon. Not able to get it in front. Has to back out of the throttle with the white flag in the air. Only one more trip around. Steve Bixler rolls through 3 and 4. A wounded car sits in the way, but oh man, big wreck there coming out of 4. Bob the Good ends up holding on to P4, but the mayor wins heat race number 1, followed by Steve Maurer, Roger Craig, Bob the Good, Terry Landis, Pat Boyce, and Bill Calder. May take a second or two here for this one to end politely for us, as you saw Bill kind of wreck there coming out of 4, had to tow, so it's iRacing doesn't like that. They don't want to end the race without people being able to complete their laps, so they've got to wait till they know he's in pit road, and they do that. We get the starting order here for heat race number 2. Rounding out the field, starting on the inside of row number 4 in the 513, the Brewerton Beast, Jeff Barker. Outside of row number 3 in the 302, John Rayner. And to his inside, the 87, the General, Andy Patton. G.J. Boydell takes the 014 and lines up on the outside of row number 2. And to his inside, Mr. Wednesday Night in the 055, Brian Moore Sr. Row number 1 for your second and final heat race here at the Volusia Speedway. Starting on the outside in the 70, Mike Cramner. And to his inside, man, you gotta look at this guy as the favorite here tonight. In the 79, Dean Reynolds. And that's exactly that hiccup I was talking about here. We are gonna refresh. You guys will get it good on your end. I know these drivers well enough. I can hang. The green flag's high. It's ready to fly. Heat race number 2 underway. Great start for Mike Cramner, as now he's got the 79 stuck behind him. Maybe back to third here. His big run on the top shelf for the 014. G.J. Boydell, they call him the Iceman here, and that's what he had to be. Cool as ice to drive that thing around the outside. Just find the grip, and Dino, maybe commentator's curse. First to fourth here in the opening 2 laps as Mr. Wednesday Night takes a peek on the inside. Battle on here. Dino trying to come back on the top shelf. Brian trying to protect on the bottom. Can't send it in too deep here. Got a line of 3 cars on that top shelf. Battle to the line. Give it to the 55. Dean trying to carry all that speed, but he's got 2 cars in front of him here, kind of stuck. As Greg Boydell thought about taking a peek here, left half a lane open, but not enough for Dean Reynolds to feel comfortable and try to take that peek as we go on the nose here. Looking to take the white flag coming out of 3 and 4. Dino all over the back here as we're watching the top 3 battle hard. Who's it going to be as we go down the backstretch? White flag in the air. Final time through 3 and 4. Dean Reynolds puts it downstairs. Mike Cramner holds on for heat race number 2, followed by Greg Boydell, Dean Reynolds, Brian Moore Sr., Andy Patton, Jeff Barker, and John Rayner. We're going to take a quick break here on the Coast to Coast Racing Network, and we will be right back with your feature at the Volusia Speedway presented by Mauer Farm Management. Stick around. We're back live on the Coast to Coast Racing Network. A little over 20 seconds here till we roll the checkered flag on warm-ups here and get into tonight's feature. Gonna be another great race here on the Coast to Coast Racing Network, and right after this, we're gonna shuttle into Daytona in the Truck Series, so better pull those belts tight. That one's gonna get wild, especially on that final lap here as the checkered flag waves. And we see... Couldn't tell if that was the 325. Dino's the last one there under the... to cross the charity stripe. So I have the wrong window up. We're going to bring up the starting grid here. My apologies, couldn't reach that mute button either. As we get ready to look at the starting lineup here for tonight's Mauer Farm Management 360 Sprint Car Feature starting lineup. The outside of row number 7 in the 302, John Rayner. Into his inside, the 325 of Bill Calder. The Brewerton Beast, Jeff Barker, lines up on the outside of row number 6. And to his inside, the Desert Demon, Terry Landis. The General, Andy Patton, lines up on the outside of row 5. And to his inside, the Librarian, Pat Boyce. Row number 4 to the outside, Mr. Wednesday Night, Brian Moore Sr. And to his inside, the 7 of Bob DeGood. Dean Reynolds, lines up to the outside of the Bassman, Roger Craig. They make up row number 3. Outside of row number 2 in the 014, G.J. Boydell. And to his inside, the 888 of Steve Mauer. Row number 1 for your tonight's feature here at Volusia Speedway. Starting on the outside in the 70, Mike Cramner. And to his inside in the 75, the Mayor, Steve Bixler. Man, oh man, I threw my dart early. I said the favorite here had to be that 79 of Dean Reynolds. I'm going to hold to that. I still think it's going to be Dino, but man, he's got his work cut out for him here tonight, doesn't he? The 75 of Steve Bixler. He's going to have that clean air out front, and man, he's going to look to use it. The Mayor has improved wonders in these sprint cars, and wouldn't be surprised to see him take home the checkered as the green flag is high, ready to fly. 25 laps to play in the clay of Volusia Speedway. We're underway. Greg Boydell trying to mount a charge in that 014. He had a good run in the middle of the corner, but not as good as the 70 of Mike Cramner. Look at him peeking out to the outside here for the lead. Steve Bixler trying to do his best to imitate his... Oh, big wreck here for Mr. Wednesday Night, Brian Moore Sr. Up and over in the wall. Caution flag waves. That started going into turn 1 here, the 55B. Let's see if we can get a view of this. The 888 of Steve Mauer just comes up, not realizing that Brian Moore Sr. is there, but boy, was he ever. And man, oh man, hard hitting the outside wall. Able to land on all fours, and that's important. Not going to lose a lap here. He'll be able to tow, get that quick repair in, and expect to see Mr. Wednesday Night back up towards the front before this thing is over. Let's see here. Did we get no? Not the 1 to green yet. Still pacing around here. Lights are on the Steve King Foundation pace car, and that gives us a chance here early on. The General Andy Patton, he's up 4 spots in that 87. He's been able to avoid that early incident there and just move right on up here towards the front. Sorry, Shaggy's looking at cameras. I thought I could have swore I had a interview. where I zoomed in and looked at the inside of these guys. Where it panned, and I didn't just have to do this by myself, but caught sleeping. So we get to take a look in the eyes of the 87 here. Man doesn't blink. He's on a mission. Wants to get that thing up to the front. He's got a lot of good dogs here to pass. If anyone can do it, it's that 87 as we roll through 3 and 4 one more time. The green flag is high. It's ready to fly. We're going to have 23 laps to play here when we drop the hammer. Let's go back racing. You saw 2 packs kind of split off there. Oh, Steve Bixler got into that inside wall. Greg Boydell stuck behind him. He's going to lose 2 spots as well. As Dino got the train rolling on the outside. Now he goes to the inside here. Up to P2. Pat Boyce trying to get that outside rolling. The 41 does just that. The mare committed to that inside. Anxious to see if the 75... Now he might not have a choice. May have to move up if he looks to his left. He's going to see the 014 at G.J. Boydell. Caution flag flies one more time. Mike Cramner involved in an accident, and he was your leader at the time. Let's see, Dino slides up. Mike just tries to go around the outside, and Dino showed him enough as far as I'm concerned. Let's see here. We'll show you what Mike sees. Now, you see it coming. You got to lift out there at that point and try to cut underneath. And if you don't and you try to skate around the outside, that's what's going to happen. And trust me, I know no driver wants to forfeit that pass, especially when the guy out front is Shaggy's picked to win here, probably the favorite. You don't want to let him go, but you got to live to race another day, as me and the 79 say sometimes, and just going a little too hard too early, and one mistake can put you to the back, and now Mike Cramner going to have to work his way back on up to the front as Andy Patton, that other guy I told you to keep an eye on. Look at the general here, P2. He's going to have to see what he can do with that 79 of Dean Reynolds. As Dino was flirting with getting those front tires off the ground. I thought he was going to give us a little show, but he's just teasing us here tonight. You're out there watching. Let us know who you're rooting for. I see Joe. He's taking Landis on the podium. That's a pretty good pick. Especially if this bottom comes in at the end. We all know how much the Desert Demon loves the bottom. And Dino, he teased us again there. I thought he was bouncing the front end. Wouldn't do it. Got these stationary cameras here just sitting for Dino. Trying to see if we can entice him to pull us a wheelie, but not going to do it here. He's out front. He means business. Can't blame him. As we roll through 3 and 4 for the final time, you see the green flag is high. The Steve King Foundation pace car is going to pull off. When he does, that 79 is going to get ready to drop the hammer and bring us back to the green flag as we're underway. 20 laps left to play. Best jump we've seen for a leader there. Let's check back. Dino got to a good jump. This is where the battle is. Steve Bixler looking to the outside. Terry Landis, Canella's pick here. Looking to the inside, but the mare. Oh, contact between him and Greg Boydell. We're under caution once again as Terry Landis, no damage on that front end. Able to skirt right on through. Close call. Let's actually go on board here with... That's not on board. This is on board. Let's see what Terry... He had a pretty good view of this. So it looks like... Okay, he didn't have as good a view as I originally thought. Let's see here. Let's go to the drone camera here. We'll swap up. Now Stevie gets a big run. You can see he's over a car length back. But he's up there where all the grip is. Comes off the top shelf a little bit as Greg's coming up a little bit. And man, that's as close to a racing deal as you can. You got to think that's almost 50-50. I mean, Bixler came down a little more off the wall than I initially thought. But, I mean, both guys just trying to make it work here in the early going racing incident. And I'm sure you'll have a beer and laugh about that one later. No spilt milk over that. As we'll see here, do the lights go off, or if they don't, I'm going to do something I don't normally do here, and I'm going to pull the driver up for an interview in dirt. Okay, they're off. They got saved. I actually don't even know who I would have brought up. Who's down there tonight? Not everybody likes to hang out in the Discord. They like to stay as far away as they can from me being able to pull them up, and hey, I can't blame them. Let's see if we can get a couple green flag laps in here. Get some passing throughout the field as the green flag's high. It's ready to fly. Dino drops the hammer, and we're back underway. 18 left to play. Dino with a good run there on that top shelf. Terry Landis up there. He's normally downstairs, but his grip up there. The Desert Demon's trying to find it. And here's the Brewerton Beast. Check down low here, man. You may want to look under your beds tonight because the Brewerton Beast, he's got a hot rod, moved on up to P3. Can he get up here and flirt with the General in the 87? Almost side by side at the line. The 513's found something downstairs through 3 and 4. Not as good through 1 and 2 there. You see him slip up, but let's watch this drive off the bottom of 4. Can he take P2 at the line? Not just yet. Dino with a big smile on his face, looking up in that rearview mirror. Loves seeing those guys race hard. He wants to pull away, but he's not exactly doing that. Here comes the General. Cut that lead down to about 3.5 tenths through 3 and 4. Oh, contact in the back. Mike Cramner involved in another caution here. I believe Steve Maurer kicks it off. Let's take a look here. Contact between the 888 and the 302. Mike Cramner minding his own business. The 888 comes back down after the contact. Hard ride for Steve Maurer, and just like that, have to tow that thing and hope he can get out in time before we go back racing here. Wild ride for the 888. Let's see, we got Jeff Barker. He's still up in the top 3. He's your biggest mover, up 9 spots here. Jeff Barker started 12th. As the overlay, you see it's changing for you. It's changing for me as well. So when it does that, it's telling me Bill Calder was the biggest mover for a moment. See him in the back. It's going to be Jeff Barker. Andy Patton up 8 spots. It's 1 spot up on the Brewerton Beast. Battle for the hard charger currently going to the 513. Have to see if either of those two can go up here and see if they can dance with the 79. Been in his own league out front, but they've stayed with him. We just haven't seen any attempts to really go back at him since he's got out front. Just a little over half, or no, 25 laps we do. So not even halfway yet. We're still going to see the track change. You're going to have to make sure you hit that perfect line at the end when it matters. Especially with these cautions. Keep tightening up the field. You got to make or break here as the Steve King Foundation pace car pulls off. The green flag is high. It's ready to fly. The 79 drops the hammer, and we're back underway. Look at Brian Moore Sr. That yellow jacket screaming on the outside. I told you keep an eye out on that 55. He'd make his way back towards the front. I call him Mr. Wednesday Night for a reason. Every Wednesday night he ends up on the podium. But battle for the lead up front. Look at this. You can put the top three under a blanket. The Brewerton Beast downstairs. Andy Patton to the high side. Jeff Barker trying to make that pass for P2 stick. Tightens up off of 4. I showed the blueprint, though, to the man behind him. Chocolate water in the 161. Here comes you, Terry Landis. Terry trying to flirt with getting up on the podium, and that was Joe Canella's pick. You cannot sleep on that guy when the bottom comes in. Gonna have to get aggressive here, though. He's got a quick race car. The bottom's not gonna stick around forever. He's got to make it work while he's got a quick car. Got to find a way around the general, and then you got to try to muscle your way past the Brewerton Beast here. Is actually, look, man, Jeff Barker side by side through 3 and 4. 8 to go. Battle for the lead. Oh, Bill Calder, I believe he was sideways there on the front stretch. Maybe towed just in time. Scare alert, though, there for the 513. They all survived. He's got to be perfect. He looks up in the rearview mirror. He sees Terry Landis. And he's got a man hitting his marks on the outside in the 79. Terry Landis, he's got to move up to that top shelf. Try to find another way around Jeff Barker. Couldn't make it work that time through 3 and 4. And boy, oh boy, Brian Moore reeled him in as the caution flag flies with 6 laps to go. Let's see here. Seeing the 70 of Mike Cramner. Him in the 888, he gets fed a little dinner. And boy, oh boy, ends up on the lid. Mike Cramner hard into the outside wall. Not a lot of time left. That may be all she wrote for the 70 of Mike Cramner. As we pace around here, getting ready to come back to 5 to go, I believe, when we get the green flag. As Dean Reynolds doing a good job of nursing this lead here, not doing anything too fancy, just holding that line on the outside where he feels comfortable and trying to make those other guys dance on the inside, where Jeff Barker, he's making it stick, but just not the consistency that he needs. He wants to get by the 79. He's got 5 more laps when we go back to figure it out. Lights are still on. We're not going back just yet. Should pace around one more time before we drop the hammer. Lights are off on the Steve King Foundation pace car and the Super Dirt Car Series 79 has 5 more laps to hold off a hungry pack of wolves. Can he do it? Can the Brewerton Beast, Terry Landis, possibly Mr. Wednesday Night? Can one of those 3 get up here and ruin the party? As the green flag is high, it's ready to fly. 5 laps to play in the clay at Volusia Speedway. We're back underway. Battle for second. Terry Landis wastes no time at all. Just like I said, you get up there to third, you got to go quick. He knows he's got a race car. Now the 161 can make this thing interesting. He's got to be perfect, but he's got 4 laps to go up here and play, as we're not going anywhere. Where we are staying up front, this is going to get good. Dean Reynolds got to be perfect here. He's got to hit his marks. What does it look like at the line? Jeff Barker not going away, still nipping at the heels of the 161. Advantage top shelf right now. Dean Reynolds looking good upstairs. Here comes Mr. Wednesday Night. Can he take this final step of the podium? 2 laps to go. Steve Bixler looking to the outside of the 014 here with the 2 to go mark going down the backstretch. almost touched, but Dino sees that white flag in the air. He can taste it. One more lap to go. Dino, always good, man. Couple updates ago, it's like you put a wizard in this wing car, and he's gonna take home another checkered flag here at Volusia. The 79 gets it done. Terry Landis P2 and Mr. Wednesday Night rounds out the podium. His wild finish there between Roger Craig and John Rayner. But Jeff Barker and Andy Patton round out the top 5. The Librarian, the Mayor, G.J. Boydell, Bob DeGood, and the Bassman, your top 10. As we get a fireworks show for the 79, he gets it done once again. Big win for Dino. And I know he's going to be pumped up about this one. Had to work hard for it. Didn't start up front. But hey, I stuck to my gut. I knew what car was going to be quick, and Dino held true, gets it done. Great race up front. Let's see if we can rewind here. We'll try to get in touch with our top 3 drivers here as Brian Moore Sr. brings home the podium, able to take it on that final lap from Jeff Barker, but not an easy night for Brian Moore Sr. Early hiccup moved him to the back, and he really had to plug away to be able to finish on the podium. I see Terry Landis and Dean Reynolds in here. Let's see if we can find... I can move him up myself, actually. Hey, Brian, Shaggy in the booth, man. You got a copy?
I got you, Shay.
Well, I'll tell you what, Brian. I call you Mr. Wednesday Night for a reason. You're always finishing on the podium, but, man, normally it looks like they come to you a little easier than this. You had that hiccup early on, man. You had to drive your way through the field, but, boy, that Yellow Jacket, man, she was flying tonight.
Oh, that was fun. Even with the hiccup early, coming from the back like that, that's always fun if you can do it. But yeah, I had that top, man. It was working. Felt good up there, and it was fast.
Yeah, I mean, it seemed like other guys kind of committing to that middle or bottom, but you and Dino able to go up there right around the cushion, and, man, you really made it work. You think maybe another late race caution there when you're in third, you have a chance to win this thing?
Oh, I don't know. Dino, he's hard to get by once he gets out front, and if he's cutting a good line on the top, it's really tough to get by him. And Landis, man, he's running that bottom really good. He's good at hitting them bottom lines, and I don't know if I'd have even got by him.
Well, I mean, you're able to plug away here, Brian. That's what's awesome about you. You shake that off, you get back to the high side, you do what you're comfortable with, foot to the floor, drive that thing back up to P3. Great run tonight. Congratulations. Who you want to thank, man?
Well, just thank you for coming back here and putting this broadcast on for us, and the sponsors. I don't know who they are tonight, but everybody involved in this stuff and the retreads. This is a fun group to run with.
Yeah, man, it is. And you guys put on a great show. Good run, Brian. And hopefully I'm talking to you tomorrow night, my man.
I hear you. Thank you very much, Shaggy.
It's Brian Moore Sr., your P3 finisher. And now we bring up the man who came so close. Terry, every time you start talking, I'm going to pull you up here. That's what I do.
That's the truth.
I interrupt your conversations. And, well, man, not an easy race for you here. You didn't get the heat race finish you would have liked. Had to come from the back, but you're able to do that. And it just seemed like maybe by the time you got the P2, the bottom started to go away. Talk to us about it.
Well, yeah. Track was really smooth and nice down low. Like, man, sorry for Jeff. I didn't hit him, but he bobbled a little too much. I think he overdrove it a little bit, and he just gave me the. Maybe I hit him on the way by him, but I know, sorry, Jeff, but you gave me the bottom, and I had to take it, and I was catching him, but then, like you said, it just went away.
No, I mean, yeah, it's one of those. You took the words kind of right out of my mouth. I feel bad for Jeff, but if you go back and watch this, you did exactly what I said you had to do. You could tell you were hitting the bottom a little better than him. And man, when you got
Yeah.
the P3, you had to go for it. And I mean, he has that hiccup, opens the bottom, but just seemed like, that last final 3 or 4 laps, you weren't getting that drive off of 4 like you guys were getting before the previous caution. And I think that was the difference.
It was getting harder. You had to take it in more on the slick stuff, so you were losing more time there before you could pick the throttle up till you were down low enough,
Well, Terry,
Yeah.
you're able to secure podium 1 of 2 here tonight. Do you think we can get a double from you here as we roll into Daytona next?
I don't know. Trucks is always a good run. Let's say that.
Yeah, amen. Well, hey, great run here. P2, being able to get up there and get by Jeff the way you did. It's tough racing. I love to see it. Great run. Who you want to thank?
Mauer Farm Management. Thank them guys. And the Masked Racer. I don't know who he is, but thank him a lot. And you for putting this show on. Yoo-Hoo, Kreitz Sim Racing guys, Kreitz Overtrack Parts, and Galen's Homegrown Popcorn, and my wife Judy.
Yep.
And put in word cart, and you'll get 50% off. Sorry,
That's what I was going to say. Code cart, 15% off. Hey, great run, Terry. And hey, man, hopefully I'm talking to you after this truck race. Good luck.
Thanks, Shaggy.
And here he is, the man of the night, my pick to win. I knew it was just a hiccup for you there in the heat race, Dino. I knew we'd see the other side. And, man, you get to the front, you don't look back. It looked really good tonight upstairs. Were you even really pushing it there in the middle stages?
Oh, God, I was pushing it the entire race because the last time here, I finished third to Terry and Jeff. And, I just wanted to put as much distance as I can if the top was still there. And, I had some bite, and I said, I'm going to stay up here. But then that last restart, they were actually closing in. Matter of fact, there were a couple of times the spotter said the fastest time in the race, car in third position, car 513. I go, damn it, that's Jeff, and I know where he's running. So I tried to go down there and go in the middle. I just saw I can't do it. I can't do it. And I said, you know what? I'm going back up to the top. I'm going to live and die up here. If I get beat, I get beat. If it hangs on, it hangs on. If I flip into row 74, I'll flip into row 74. But we're going to make her eat.
No, yeah, and that's something that you got to commend. I mean, it's almost who else would I I guess that's kind of like how Trevor Giroux is. I kind of compare him that way. He runs where he's comfortable, and man, even if it's not the quickest, he stays committed to it, and it ends up coming around for him. And that's exactly what you did tonight. You got that thing up to the front with, you can't see it in the car, but that was a clean pass. We know the deal on that. When you see that right rear tire, you got to kind of lift out and go underneath. So you're in the clear for that as far as I'm concerned. Great race, Dino. Who you want to thank, brother?
Yeah, no, and I purposely did that slider really slow, too. I was watching my mirror the whole way when I did that slider, and I wanted to come up slow to Mike to show him what I was going to do so he could see it. And, and I watched the replay because I do hate making dirty sliders. I don't like to do that, but, I did see it was clean and everything. So, but too bad he got there because he was running good. I mean, he won that heat, and, man, he was having a race, but part of the deal. But, Shaggy, first of all, good to see you back, man. I know you had a rough week, and glad you're healthy, and hopefully you're feeling good. And, I'm glad you're back. So that's really cool. So thank the guys for Full Throttle Motorsports, of course. I'm going to try. It's about the only championship I can try for. I think I'm only going to miss 1 week, and, I think there's 1 week to drop. So we're going to see if we can bring this trophy home and give it a shot and, just get my second coast-to-coast trophy. It'd be kind of nice. So, we got to see what we can do. But thanks, the guys, for Full Throttle Motorsports. Ever since we got Gavin Chatham to join our team, he's just a whiz in sprint cars, and especially on fixed sets. He is the best on fixed sets. When we go to Hometown Heroes now, it's Blake and Gavin. Those are the two guys you got to beat, and but he helps you out and tries to get you to steer in the right direction. He really helped me out, especially these 360s, because me and Terry were saying that these things are geared all wrong, and they're tough to learn because they're geared at a 560, where normally we'd be at a 520 with these things. But that's part of the deal. You got to learn about that. So congratulations to Terry for doing another strong race. And then I watched Mr. Senior go right around the outside and do the same groove, and he told me he went from like 6th to 3rd there at the end, so that was fun to watch as well. So hopefully everyone enjoyed it.
Yeah, man, I know I definitely did. You put on a good race. Congratulations, Dean. And, man, hopefully you can bring home that trophy this year. You know I'll be rooting for you.
Well, we'll give it a shot, and I'll be remiss if I didn't say it was damn good to see Bill Calder in the field.
Yeah.
Yes. He told us, watch out, guys. I'm only driving with one hand, but God damn it, Bill, you're out there, and that was so cool to see. And hopefully, this racing helps him heal up a lot quicker.
Yeah, we all know how it is being around friends, man. They can always cheer you up and make you feel that much better. So hopefully that's what Bill's feeling. That's what we want him to feel. But Dino, you bring home the checkered flag, man. Congratulations, and good luck tomorrow night.
All right, Shaggy. Thanks a lot, man.
Dean Reynolds, your winner here at Volusia Speedway. And with that, we take a quick break here on the Coast to Coast Racing Network, and we'll be right back in the Truck Series at Daytona Super Speedway. Stick around.
It's time for another edition of RSN Trackside, powered by Bob Johnson Auto Group on Rock Sports Network. Kiss on the champion. Trying to be a
bit of a hiatus, so let's get. Tonight when we talked about it.
outpouring of love was amazing. These dollars had come together to support us, and we realized, no, we didn't want to use them for us. We wanted to use them to help others.
The foundation has done so much for so many people. It helps any family that has somebody, whether it be a crew member or one of the drivers, that get hurt. We can help them to get through the situation.
I was injured in a non-wing sprint car accident that broke my neck and left me with a spinal cord injury. I was in the hospital 8 months, and that got really, really expensive, so having that extra help to help push me and my family forward was a big deal.
I was involved in a pretty gnarly sprint car crash. Found out my brain was swelling and bleeding. Pelvic bone was broken. I had 2 cracked vertebrae on my back, and I was in the ICU a little over a week. The Steve King Foundation reached out to my parents. We received a donation from them. Immediately, they started me on what's called neurofeedback, and insurance did not cover the neurofeedback appointments. So we received another donation from the Steve King Foundation. It really helped a lot, and I just want to say thank you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart to the Steve King Foundation for everything that they have done for me. This last Sunday, I got to turn laps in my modified here. That was my first laps back in a race car since the accident, and I truly believe that if it wasn't for the Steve King Foundation, I wouldn't be able to do that or be where I'm at today.
Yes, Steve's death is the reason the foundation exists, but it's Steve's life, and it's the lives of racers everywhere, is the reason we're able to do the work we do.
We are live on the Coast to Coast Racing Network for part 2 of Old Timers Tuesday, presented by the Masked Avenger Racing Team. As Terry Landis mentioned in his previous interview, we're not too sure who that sponsor is. It's the Masked Avenger, but we appreciate you throwing your money in the hat here and be able to get us broadcasted coast to coast. Definitely, man, got a lot of glue in this organization. Just people who are willing to, split here, split there. We've got teams come together for sponsorship. I mean, this is what definition of a family here at Daytona. They do a great job treating each other with respect, racing hard. And speaking of racing hard, 2x2 here, just messing around in practice. Is here right as I click away from that, I would have had proof. As now I can't click on it, but you see the session comes to an end. We get ready to go out here qualifying at the Daytona International Speedway. To see who ends up pulling out first here. You know the drill. Whoever comes out first, well, they get the love here for lap number 1. It's looking like it's going to be... it's a battle between Mike Cramner and Steve Bixler. Mike Cramner is winning that war. Some people go real slow through 1 and 2, though, so I'm not crowning a winner yet. Now, looking at it, Mike Cramner's that guy. He's going quick on the bottom of 1 and 2. He's not messing around. He wins the first lap qualifier award, and, well, not much to say about it at Daytona. I personally go right up against the wall right now. Try to get as much speed as I can. Mike's starting to do that. Floating up a little bit. I know it looks sketchy, but you got about another half groove there. You can trust it. Get right next to that wall. Get as much speed as you can. We'll try to put a humdinger down here. Is ready to go lap number 1. We'll see some drivers run around the outside here lap number 1 as well, and just use lap number 2 as the qualifier. Burn some fuel off. You're not allowed to ridiculously, as we click the wrong button there, you're not allowed to tape these things up like they do in real life. I know, late 90s, early 2000s, late 2000s even. Got just see them put down one qualifying lap, tape them up. I'm not really sure if they do that now or not. I'm not the biggest NASCAR fan anymore. I've kind of washed away from it. More into the dirt side now. But Mike Cramner coming around. Just green through Sector 1. Not going to be the quickest out of everyone. This should be purple as he completes Sector 2 at the highest speed. So we'll see Mike take P1 for now. As laps start to come in, Steve Maurer takes over P1, but the 25 of Gary Sigelkow. Welcome to the front row as the librarian sniffs, can't get there. 41 with a little bit of a hiccup there through 1 and 2. You can see him just coming off that yellow line ever so. Hug that thing the whole way. You want to keep that thing smooth, not easy to do. Is right now, Bill Calder in the 325 doing this with one arm. Let it be known, the 325 Willie out here having fun. And that's what we love to see as Gary Sigelkow comes around, completes lap number 2. Can he improve? Not going to find any improvement for the 25. Stays P1. As drivers start to come around. Tim Chapman in the 37 coming around here. Lap number 2. You see green at the bottom of the screen. That's quicker for him. Quicker Sector 1 and 2. What's the time sheet look like for the 37? Not a big improvement. Going to stay P14 as Greg Boydell on his opening lap moves up to P3, and you see the purple on the bottom. Quickest out of anyone through Sector 1. What does the 014 have here as we come across the strike, slower through Sector 2? Greg Boydell gonna stay P3. And just like that, all 15 trucks have qualified, and we'll get ready for tonight's 25 or 40 lap main event here. Oh, okay, I believe my dad told me about this. I didn't get the verification, but I believe it's 40 laps now. Wait, what is 40 laps now, as you see? But the kicker, caution laps count now, I believe. We'll have to see here as we roll on through, but I'm almost certain that's the deal here as we take a look at the inside of row number 8, all by himself, rounding out the field in the 131, Stu Wright. Outside of row number 7 in the 37, Tim Chapman into his inside in the 531, Armando Melgoza. Row number 6 to the outside in the 325, Willie Bill Calder. And to his inside, the 302 of John Rayner. The Bassman, Roger Craig, takes the 747, and he lines up on the outside of the 161 of the Desert Demon, Terry Landis. They're row number 5, just ahead of them to the outside of row number 4 in the 888, excuse me, Steve Maurer. To his inside, the 70 of Mike Cramner. Outside of row number 3, the 03 of Roland Olson. Into his inside, the mayor, Steve Bixler. The general, Andy Patton, takes the 87 and lines up on the outside of row number 2. Into his inside, the 014 of G.J. Boydell. Row number 1 for tonight's main event. 40 laps at the Daytona Speedway. To the outside in the 41, the librarian Pat Boyce. And to his inside, the 25 of Gary Sigelkow. Once again, huge shout out to all the sponsors here this evening on the Coast to Coast Racing Network. Maurer Farm Management, Masked Avenger Racing. Couldn't do it without you guys. And well, just like that, the field's set. 40 laps to play. It'll be a good race here. 40 laps, drivers should have to pit for fuel. So Also another element that they don't always have. Sometimes we've had fuel stops after caution-filled races, but it's not a necessarily thing that they're used to doing, so drivers had to practice pit stops this week to make sure they were set and ready to go. I mean, anybody who watches racing knows you win or lose this race on pit road, especially if it stays green flag. You gotta have a friend, you gotta have that dancing partner who's gonna go with you, and you gotta trust him. You both gotta brake late, and you gotta brake well. You don't brake too early. You don't want to be that slow, limp dog, but as the green flag is high, it's ready to fly. Gary Single Cow leads the field to the green flag. We're racing at Daytona. Tim Chapman stuck on the outside behind the 325. Maybe got a little sketched out, but him starting on the outside, he would have been able to jump to the inside without the black flag, but no harm, no foul. Long way to go here. I anticipate the boys aren't necessarily playing nice here right out of the gate, but they may shock me here as we go 2 by 2 by 2 by 2 by 2 down the backstretch. Pat Boyce with the current advantage on the outside of the 41, but doing that rear bumper, Terry Landis falling back, and here we go, the 888 of Steve Maurer, looking like he got some help. Caution flag waves here early at the Daytona International Speedway. Steve able to get down out of the way there after being turned. Let's see what happens. So it looks like he gets into the outside wall, and Mike Cramer, I can't blame him for that. I mean, if the car in front of you gets in the outside wall, you don't want to get stuck. You don't want to fall back. Mike moves on to the inside. Steve comes down a little too much. Comes across the nose of Mike Cramner. Just like that, Roland. Oh, excuse me. That was Roland Olson up there in the Nesquik machine. It was Chocolate Water who may have gotten some nose damage. But right now, everything seems to be smooth here, and well, you know, speaking of smooth, it hasn't been the smoothest year for this man, but I've talked about him, and we got him back here tonight. Bill, Shaggy up here in the booth, man. I've been waiting a long time to say this to you. How are you feeling, brother?
Oh, thanks, Shaggy. Yeah, I'm feeling pretty good.
Well, you know, you're back out there on the racetrack tonight, and I know you're taking it easy, okay? But that qualifying effort, Bill, you were right there with him. Do you plan on maybe trying to get in the mix here if you're up in that front pack here with a couple laps to go? I think you got it in you tonight.
I think so, too. I just have to be sure I can steer good with my left hand. With my left hand. Sorry, Shaggy.
No,
my finger falling off the button.
I know the struggles there. Yeah, you try to push that button with the finger, but hey, Bill, man, you're doing a hell of a job. Keep the pressure off you tonight, man. We're just back, or happy you're back and having fun. Good luck here, and man, you know I'm rooting for you.
Thanks, buddy. Yeah, I'm having a lot of fun. I'm really glad to be back.
Well, that's awesome. Well, hey, give him hell. Go win this thing, Bill.
Okay, I'll give it a shot.
I'll tell you what, there's nobody we want more to win this thing than that man right there in the 325. I'd wreck my dad in the 37 right below him to get Bill Calder that feature win. I'm telling you right now I would. Bill's one of those guys who is just, I mean, literally he's the fuel pump for this organization. I mean, he keeps everything going. If he burns out, it's a tough deal. I mean, he does so many little intricate things that people don't even realize. We love you, Bill, and we are so damn happy to have that 325 back out here on the racetrack. And I'm telling you, I know he took it easy on that restart, but I expected a little bit closer to that dirt time, if I'm being honest. And he really impressed me. He went out there, he put the ball in. get some draft. He can string together 2 or 3 laps here. He keeps that left arm good. Just relax for now, Bill. Pressure's off. Keep that thing on the lead lap and go get him here at the end. But Steve King Foundation pace car is off. And Gary Sigelkow drops the hammer. We're back underway at Daytona. Lap number 4 of 4. Desert Demon trying to link up maybe here with his chocolate rival, but oh man, caution flag out once again. Right away here early. Not too sure what happened to the 531. Armando Melgoza was the car around. Oh, dude, it looked like he downshifted. That I'm not too sure what happened. Maybe he uses the shifter, hit the wrong gear. Let's see if we can get any hints from the inside. Yeah, you can hear it. It just hung up. And then I guess it drops back down. Not too sure what happened to Armando, but that is a tough break. And now I'm not sure if it blew up on him there, if he was trying to get it back in gear. But the 531 Armando Melgoza, just like that, caution number 2 is we pace around here in the early stages at Daytona. Let's see here. Let's plug away. Terry's a guy who, no offense, I know he's not going to wreck anyone here as he's coming up. I can buzz in his ear and we'll be totally fine with it. Terry, what's the deal? I forgot now caution laps are counting. How long can we go on a tank of fuel? I didn't do my homework.
It was 15 laps.
Okay, so we're looking at probably 2 pit stops, maybe 1 with caution laps.
Yeah, could be.
All right, well,
Yep.
I'm not going to have you throw that strategy out there, but do you have your pit buddy here tonight? Do you know what you're doing if you got a pit under green flag?
Oh, we don't know anything yet. We didn't discuss that stuff.
Well, hey, man, flying by the seat of your pants. Good luck here, Terry. I see your nemesis out there, Hollywood. He's 2 spots up. He's coming up next. Warn him. He's the next interviewer.
All right, he's next.
See who's
All right.
going to win the chocolate battle.
He's telling me better get going or he's going to be shaking it.
All right. Good luck here, Terry.
All right. Have a good one.
The Desert Demon in the 161. Feeling pretty good right now. Feeling pretty good. Looks pretty good out front, too. That Yoo-hoo machine. Yeah, hopefully he's the one not getting shook tonight. He's asking for it right on the side. Got the real chocolate milk. I mean, you can see he's got milk under it. Terry really should be required to put water. That blue should be identified as water. It's not chocolate milk. It's a powdered drink. I just don't know if I can get on board, with that type of thing. But hey, it is what it is. Sorry, I was speechless there. I was trying to view. I can't view it now because it may not be pleasant, but our boy Connor Ross is at the Chili Bowl, and he's sending some videos. He is having a fun time. That is somewhere Shaggy needs to get before it is all said and done in his life. Hopefully I got a way long time. Hopefully I got about 60 more attempts on the calendar to go to that. But man, I definitely would love to go see the Chili Bowl. Would love to go to Eldora. Man, what's another? Knoxville, of course. I keep teasing you guys with the Nationals. But man, oh man, now, I missed last week. Not the crazy until Shaggy's got some health stuff, so the money may be tight this year. There's probably not going to be much of a chance to do that this year. But hey, we'll see. He may end up I'm that lucky scratcher. Who knows? I mean, you got to buy them to win. That's for sure. Haven't bought one in 6 or 7 years, but you never know. You may get that tangle one time going into the grocery store. I just realized we've had the driver thing up. Yes, we are following GJ Boydell. He's the man on the outside of the front row. We get ready to go back racing here at the Daytona International Speedway. Make sure you hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Don't miss a show here. We'll be back tomorrow with the Hometown Heroes divisions. Make sure you tune in for that. They're always good racing. I should have done a better job, but I believe, I do have the schedule up here. Let's see where they're at tomorrow. Accuse it still. I was pretty sure we were staying there. It seemed like a pretty good racetrack. It's been on good racing. One of those people have to kind of figure it out all at the same time, puts everybody on that equal playing ground. It's only been out for 6 weeks now, about a month and a half. We're in week number 5 now. Before we started, we had that off week, so I believe, it came in that off week. So drivers have definitely had over a month now to prepare for it, and it's been a great racetrack. And the races that I've been a part of here is we go up to the green flag, you see it high, it's ready to fly. Lap number 8 out of 40, we're back underway. Plenty of time here to mix it up. Drivers just need to pace themselves here. Behave in these early stages. Greg Boydell, he's going to be somebody who can definitely make that outside line contend. The 87 of Andy Patton, he's going to be somebody who, I haven't really seen him run much asphalt, but I know how good he is on dirt. I imagine he's going to line up pretty well, be a good pusher. Gets right to the rear end of the 014. Patton Boyce, an even better job here is Andy Patton blinking out a little bit. Saw him blinking a little bit to start the race. Still gone is the general. He's back now. He's doing a good job of being patient, just knowing there's a long way to go here. You're not going to win the race on lap number 9. I can tell you that. You can sure as hell lose it. It's a little tougher to lose it in this. They get a couple quick repairs. They will give you your lap back, I believe. But it's not something you want to have happen to you, as Bill Calder letting the field go around here. Oh, that was a little scary. John Rayner got nervous. Able to get around the 325. Tim Chapman looking to the outside. He doesn't want to lose the draft. He's got to stay behind that 131 and still find a way to drop down. Able to do just that. Oh, I thought for a second we were going 3 wide. Had to click it back up front here. Is Roland Olson. Is that third guy on the inside, that second yellow machine. Looked like he was going to take a peek under the librarian, the 41. Swerving around a little bit with 161 at Terry Landis. He swerved up towards the wall, just caught it before making contact. That could have been a close call. You watch him barrel down the backstretch. 2 rows here. That's what you got to be. You got to hold your own. You got to be willing to drive it in there if you're up top. And Steve Bixler, man, he did just that. Almost got to the outside wall. Had to feather out of the throttle a bit. And that left a little... He broke the link in that chain. Does the 70 try to go up there and fill it? Gonna stay down low for now. Mike Cramner, a guy... as well, if he can get to the outside, he can push, man. That 70, damn good asphalt racer, and they mess around and let him get towards the front. He may not let you back around. Don't necessarily want to be that guy out front either. That's something I haven't had to talk about with these guys, but it's something we're going to see play into tonight, especially if Gary Siegelkow stays out front like this. He's going to pit 2 laps earlier than everyone else. Same with Greg Boydell. If he's leading that outside line the whole time. if you don't show some patience and swap that lead and you think, hey, this is my party, I do what I want, well, you're going to pit all by yourself. You're going to pay for it. Keep traffic. You can't run around out here by yourself. You're going to be in big trouble as Bill Calder ducks down to the inside. Going to get back up, though. Man, that was a close call. I think right now Tim and Steve Maurer are just trying to hold on to the tail end of the lead lap and maybe sense the calm before the storm. Drivers dicing around side by side going down the backstretch on lap number 12. This is where, I've always wanted to be Roland Olsen right now, if I'm being honest with you. I think that's where you want to be on this opening run. Inside row number 3. You're just burping that throttle the whole way around. You're barely ever in it. It's contact in the back. I told you it was coming. And man, oh man, Bill Calder involved in it. Not too sure who else. Armando Melgoza. Not sure if Tim sustained any damage out of it. Able to keep it straight. But Steve Maurer, not so lucky. He's back here by himself. Stu Wright, like a wounded duck. That right front is shredded. Just like that. Pack's starting to separate here. That isn't what those guys want to see. I'm not sure with caution laps counting now. I would imagine they still do give waiver rounds. I don't know that for sure. But if you get a waiver round, no big deal. It's not something you want to have happen to you early and have hanging over your head the whole way. You want to be able to go race. You want to control your own destiny, and losing the lead pack early, that is definitely going to hurt that. As Roger Craig, P10, that last car in the back of the lead pack, on board here with the Bassman. Let's see what he sees. You can hear him just having to calm the baby down there. Has to lift off and just let it purr. You don't want to have that thing roar right now. It's okay to be a kitten. Saving gas. Just putting that thing around. You got to play the long game. And I say this is going to be something that I'm not being hard on Gary. I know he listens to these broadcasts. He's going to go back and listen to it. I'm doing this to teach that guy. He's kind of in the boat with the 37 here, Tim Chapman. You don't really have that dedicated partner. You don't want to be that guy out front, man. He's going to learn the hard way tonight in these races where you need to pit for fuel. You do not want to lead that way unless he is all but certain we're going to get a caution here. Because drivers, I imagine Terry Landis told us we could go 15 laps on a tank of gas. Well, we're 15 in. We did have a bunch of caution laps in the beginning, so I expect us to maybe get 19 to 20. But I would think that 25 of Gary Siegelkow will have that left hand out sticking out the window here soon. He's going to need to go down pit road here before everybody else. You can see that second pack, how far they are behind Tim Chapman, 8 seconds. Just with losing that draft, I mean, look, there they come. You just can't do it, and that's why I'm saying Gary Siegelkow, you do not want to be that man holding the torch way. Save those legs. Leave a little fuel in it. Let somebody else do the leg work out front. That's why you're seeing Hollywood. Just pace that Nesquik machine. I'm so envious of the way he's driving right now. He is definitely the top dog, and if I had to pick somebody right now, it's looking like he's putting himself in the best chance to win. Long way to go, though, still. 24 laps to go, not even halfway. Week number 5 here in the Old Timers Tuesday, and Roland Olsen would love nothing more than to walk out of here with a win. Here we go. Oh, here we go. So we're getting some guys coming down pit road. Pat Boyce stayed committed. Roland Olson, well, that just spooled his milk, man. That he's going to need help. That's not what he wanted. Tim Chapman's going to hope that he can get to the back of Roland Olson, and then they're going to be pit buddies. But let's take a look here. Gary Siegel-Cal, you don't want to get tires. You don't want to get tires. Are we getting tires? We're getting tires. They jacked up the right side. That's going to be a long pit stop. Yep, taking left sides. That's going to be another one. You do not need tires at Daytona. Race over for the 25 if we stay green. Go back to the boys up front here. Do we get any takers this time? The 014 dives down. Does he get any help? Roger Craig gets touched from behind. 302 hard in the wall. He spins across the entrance of pit road. No caution. No caution just yet. Mike Cramner all alone out front. Tim Chapman inherits P2. 10 seconds off of the 70 of Mike Cramner. And well, anxious to see how this all works out. Here's our race leader, Mike Cramner. Should have the duck down pit road this time. Still waiting on guys to pit. So Tim Chapman, he pitted on lap number 5, so he can go a little longer than everyone else. But his pit stop cycle, Greg Boydell and Terry Landis look to have the advantage here as the Bass man a little ways behind. The 302 of John Rayner. Here comes the mayor, Steve Bixler. Chugging, he's got that thing rolling. The 41 coming up to give him a shot. This is really going to make it interesting here. Is the 37 of Tim Chapman. He can make up a lot of time. Guys getting 4 tires. He's got to nail this pit stop. That's where Mike Cramner is right now. That's why you saw him lose the lead. He went down pit road, no tires. Quick pit stop for him, 8.8 seconds. Tim's trying to use up all of that 325 he can. He's probably going to need to pit here real soon. Mike Cramner, he was your leader. Let's take a look. Where is Terry Landis? And Greg Boydell coming. Are they going to be able to get to the 70 of Mike Cramner? They should. It may take a lap or two, but they're definitely going to be able to get there. As Tim Chapman stays out, he's still got some fuel left. Greg Boydell and Terry Landis look to the outside of the 531. So Armando Melgoza just doing a good job of staying to the inside. Knows he can get those laps back at a later time. As Mike Cramner looks up in the mirror, he's going to have some company here. He's got to do a good job of latching onto these guys, or he could lose out of this pack, and that's not what the 70 wants or needs here. Got to put the head down. You got to start sniffing in the dirt. Got to go to work. Can he stay close here as Mike Cramner looks like he does have that draft kind of equaled out here. Now he's closing up on him, and Mike Cramner did a good job. Not losing those front 2 here when it's all said and done is Tim Chapman. Where is he at right now? I believe in the middle of 1 and 2. He is. He goes down the backstretch. Still has yet to pit. Not looking the best here for the 37. You're watching the other packs kind of run him down. Maybe looking to do this thing in a 1 stop. If it goes green, that may be his only chance. That may be what the 37's doing here. We'll have to see if he ends up getting the right strategy here with 18 laps to go. You got to think that's what's going through the 37's head. I got to do this in 1 stop. I lost the pack early. Now I've got to do it my own ways. Bill Calder pulling away from the 37 of Tim Chapman. Not too sure what happened. Tim doesn't look to be out of gas or anything. He stays going. He's rolling, but Had a little bit of a hiccup there, and the lead's cut down to 21 seconds. So, damn, I mean, he's just watching that lead disappear. You have to figure something out here. So looking at the top three, this will be your battle for the lead when the 37 hits pit road, which he does. And the 37, he sees the 325 spin in front of him, then he locks it up. He goes around, and, well, just like that, Tim, any strategy he had, that's gone out the window. He's got to shake it off, figure something else out, and hope for a late race caution as the front three go on by here. Your new leader, Greg Boydell, with 17 laps to go. Let's find here, Pat Boyce. This is your second pack. They're about 6.5 seconds away on third place. And right now, Andy Patton not doing any of the boys' favors, going down sucking off side draft on the top. You want to line up. You want to try to run these guys down. And when you're going up there sucking air off, pulling yourself forward, slowing those other guys down, it really is costing you a lot of time. And you can see the 41 of Pat Boyce, that lead already up to 7 seconds. I mean, the front three are playing nice like this. Well, I say that, and they're not playing nice. They're running down lap traffic. Here we are, 3 wide, a lapper to the inside, the Desert Demon to the high side, trying to find a way around Greg Boydell. I'm telling you, if you're Terry Landis, you don't want to get out front anyway unless you're trying to play the fuel game and play with each other. You want to line up, make that guy pick through the air for you. Have him do all the work as Tim Chapman gets back out on the racetrack. He tries to link up with Roland Olson. Roland actually diving down pit road. Tim, 30 seconds back. So big gap for the 37. You got to think one mistake early kind of put a fork in his night. Give it to the 014, but they're side by side with 15 to go. Greg Boydell getting help from an unlikely ally. A lap down, Stu right there in the 131. With Stu's help, I mean, we've got a new race leader. Mike Cramner moved to the outside, and, well, just behind him, we got 2 more lap down cars, Steve Maurer and Armando Melgoza. Desert Demon thought about going down and shutting the door. Doesn't want to leave the 70 hanging just yet. You may need an ally here in the later stages. And Stu Wright trying to make one of those here. Knows he can't win in this spot, but hey, maybe if I help somebody win, maybe they return the favor in the next couple weeks. And probably the outlook he's trying to have in that 131. Single cow, we saw him running up towards the front, but 4 tires really put a dent in that strategy, and 25 seconds off. Gary Sigelkow, a guy who wouldn't be surprised taking home the checkered flag, really finds himself on the back foot here as Mike Cramner gives that 161 a shot going down the backstretch. Can't carry that momentum to look to the outside of the 014 as well, though, and tightens up on the entrance, gets off the rear end of the 161, and just like that, they got to go back to work on the top shelf. But I think Terry Landis is going to have it at the line. It's going to be close. Give it to the Desert Demon, 13 to go. Those guys are going to have to pit again, and it's going to have to see how well they can do it. Did they remember to click the tires off? Did you add enough fuel? Did you add enough in case we go for a green-white checkered? All these thoughts should be going through these drivers' heads as we roll around here at Daytona. The clock's ticking. Not much sand left in the hourglass. Oh, caution flag waves. Caution flag at Daytona. And just like that, let's see here. So we're seeing Bill. He's got some damage here. I imagine this already happened. Maybe a late caution. Yeah, so it just flew a little late. iRacing didn't give it. Had to throw it out. Bill probably needed to pit. Didn't realize Roger was there. Hard into the outside wall. Andy Patton involved. But, man, you know, this really throws strategy out the window. I'd think everybody can probably make it from here on out. Let's see. Who can we find? And I don't want to... All right, so we're going to pull up Mike Cramner, but we're going to do this in a nice fashion because these guys are probably getting ready to make pit stops, I think. Going to let them do that, and then we'll talk to them. See what it's like. What the thoughts are like going through their heads here. See drivers getting back on the lead lap. Hollywood coming around. He's just got to go around that pace car if he wants to get back on the lead lap, and they'll wave his black for him. Let's see here. So as we go down pit lane, who wins the race off? Terry Landis leads us down pit road. First in that stall. Doesn't look like anybody overshot it. Pat Boyce slowing down a little early. Rather safe than sorry. Mike Cramner. Look at that. The asphalt racer. He wins the race off pit road, and you got to think he's got enough gas in that thing now to bring it home. Tim Chapman, no, he's not pitting. Does he think he's got enough gas to bring it home? Oh, as he drives down on the inside, he's probably trying to save fuel, but you got guys coming out of pit road. You got to be careful. You have to see. He's probably banking on another caution. And no green and white checkers. But I like the spot this man's sitting in right here. He's got a full tank of fuel. Mike Cramner, Shaggy in the booth, man. You got a copy?
Yes, sir. I got you.
Well, man, it seems like every time I do these things, I'm talking to you with 10 to go, and, man, you find yourself in a spot to get it done. It's looking like the 37 up there in front of you is trying to save some fuel. You definitely got enough left here to go the rest of the way now after that pit stop, right?
Yeah, 10-4, I got it. So we'll see what he does. Been a pretty good, clean race so far. So some good draft, and we'll see what we do here towards the end.
Yeah, you know, I wanted to touch on that. You know, you three out front, you kind of got the dream scenario. 33% chance of winning that thing. What's it like when you see that caution flag fly? I mean, what are you feeling in the car?
Well, I was glad to see the last one so I could get some fuel. So I don't want to see any more from here on out. But hopefully we can finish this thing out on green.
Well, hey, Mike, give him hell, man. Hopefully we're talking to you at the end of this thing. Good luck.
Thank you, Shaggy.
It's Mike Cramner currently running P2. Oh, Bill Calder gets into the back of the 161 there. We might have to extend this. Terry Landis, he's going to get some serious damage out of that. I don't see the lights coming back on and extending this thing, so that's a tough break. But, oh, man, he's got the Shaggy logo on the tail tank. I didn't even notice that. Thank you for that, Terry. Yeah, we may have to give him money to letter up a new one here. You see, that's the only thing left there on the outside. Maybe I'd pay him to keep it like that, just gray. You know, just me and Mauer Farm Management on the back. We're going to have 9 to go here. When we take the green flag, remember, caution laps count now. We got 13 drivers on the lead lap. Armando Melgoza currently trying to come around, but he's still a lap down. So just going to have those 13. As we roll through 3 and 4. Drivers get set to go one more time here at the Daytona Speedway. Can the 37 burp that thing enough to have enough gas to bring it home? I wouldn't want to be out of that car out front and try it, but hey man, he's going for it, trying to go back to back. The green flag is high. It's ready to fly. 9 laps to go at Daytona. Who's going to win it? Who's going to wear it? Oh, Mike Cramner and Terry Landis. They're getting the elbows out here to start this restart. And Terry Landis, he is feeling, I guarantee you, he's feeling that wounded race car. That thing is not going to be a good pusher. Tim's going to feel it too. He's going to need somebody else to get to that rear end and help him. Where the librarian and that 70 machine are going to take those boys to school. What's it going to look like here as we go into 3 and 4 side by side? Terry Landis just can't get up to that tail tank. And Tim Chapman, he's going to watch that 70 come down. Shut the nose. Tim floats up a little bit as the 70's coming down. And just like that, we're under caution for the 4th time here at Daytona. Lot of tore up metal through 3 and 4. We saw a pretty good view of that live, I thought. Just not clear. Tries to come down. Let's see here. Can I get to the Chapman Racing drone camera? Yes, I can. You see Mike coming down, not clear. Tim floats up a little bit too, probably in a little bit of a panic. And just nothing you can do that quick. Wreck at the front of the field. Hurts a lot of race cars, and I can tell you one it didn't hurt. He may be spinning there. Oh, no, he wasn't spinning. Even he hung on to it. My God, Terry Landis, what a wheelman this guy is in the 161. We were just at Volusia. He didn't get the memo. We left. Look at him dirt track this thing along the bottom. Able to Tokyo drift that thing on the bottom of 4, keep it straight. We'll have to see here. Does the Desert Demon, does he take advantage of this caution and go down and pit? It does not look like it. Man, you know, sometimes this happens to people with like the net code and internet and all that, but I'm seeing a lot of damage, no rear end. If I'm Terry Landis, I am getting that thing on pit lane, but not pulling down, gonna stay out. Tim's able to go in there, repair the damage. Mike Cramner as well. Armando Melgoza, he's able to get back on the lead lap. So 5:31, he'll be able to dance here in the final 5 or so laps when we go back racing. Pat Boyce, your leader, the librarian. Got a lot of salty dogs behind him there. 4 of the top 5 are salty dogs. Pat Boyce, Steve Bixler, John Rayner, and Steve Maurer. And Roger Craig get up there with the rest of his dogs and get in the pound, or is he going to stay on the outside of the top 5? I expect that blue truck there at the top of your screen to be up in the fight before this thing's over. So we've seen him get a win this season that way, able to nurse it around, just hang out in the back. The right stuff happened, and to see if he's due for another one. We're gonna have 6 to go this time by. The lights should come off, so we'll drop the hammer with 5 laps to go. That'll put us in that green-white checkered territory if we'd have another caution. So drivers running out of attempts here to go get this thing. Lights are off, and you see Terry Landis. I just don't know. I mean, maybe you obviously can't see the back. But man, Bill Calder got into him pretty hard, so much so that Bill just off. Probably felt a little guilty, towed that thing, and called it a night. But Terry Landis is staying out there.
Hey Shaggy, how you doing?
Hey, pretty good, Bill. What's up?
My right arm just gave out on me, so I'm towing. So I'm just gonna watch the end of the race here and talk to you a little bit.
Yeah, I figured something like that happened. We were actually just talking about that, Bill. If you'd go back and look at it, I figured something. But hey, man, we're glad to have you. I know 40 laps there with the wheel. That's a long time to go at Daytona, but we're glad we had you for most of it.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. I made the mistake of running the dirt race, I think, and I just tired my arm out too much.
Well, hey, man, every lap out here is rehab. You know that, and I'm sure you had a big smile on your face. So as soon as we can get you back here, you know we want you back. It's not the same without you.
Oh, I have to say, Shaggy, I'm loving this.
Well, you're not loving it as much as me, I promise. When I saw that 325 out there, I knew you were going to take it easy in the dirt, man. But like I said, I talked to you. You impressed the hell out of me with that qualifying. Go out there, not at 100%, and qualify within a tenth and a half of the field. You're going to get it back. That's for sure. And hopefully we find you on the top step when you do get it back.
Oh, it'll come for sure, buddy.
Well, you can sit in here and hang out with me. Green flag high, ready to fly. 5 laps to go. Who's going to steal this thing? Terry Landis looking like that rear end damage. Not affecting him too much here on the opening start. It's going to be all about that 302 of John Rayner. Can he get to the back? Can he give him a good shove here in the middle of 1 and 2? As Pat Boyce, he's still waiting for a little help from his partner in the 75. Terry Landis gets a big shove. He loses the rear end. John burps the throttle, tries to get up behind. But we're 3 wide for the lead. Pat comes across the nose of the 75, down to the inside. Oh, Pat Boyce slides back up the racetrack. No caution just yet here. 5 laps to go, coming out of 4. Terry Landis looking to see 4 to go this time as Gary Siegelkamp goes across the nose of the 888. Yellow flag flies, 4 laps to go. Let's go back.
Looks like the bookmobile's in a little bit of trouble.
Yeah, the librarian involved in the early one, and then the most recent one that brought out this caution, that was Gary Siegelkamp. Let's diagnose this one first. Let's see, they're just running 3 wide. Gary trying to make that thing fit. We're going to try to find the aerial camera. There we go. And just comes across the nose of the 888. Steve Maurer, a good job holding his line. Know where he could go. Makes contact with the 25. We saw earlier that incident with Pat Boyce. Let's go back and try to diagnose this. Steve Bixler gets a big run going down the backstretch. He pulls to the inside, and Pat, maybe not ready for a little 3 wide action, comes down over the nose of Steve Bixler. Steve with a good job of holding onto that thing. Dirt tracking it there through the infield, able to keep it straight. Caution helps him out, but man, Bill, that's going to shake up the field here. We're going to have a green-white checkered. You know as well as I do, man, anything can happen now.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. This is exciting.
And now, you got to think. Okay, let's take a look here. Shaggy can look at a number 29. Now, they should be plenty good on the field. That's only 12 laps so far with these cautions. Maybe 2 green-white checkered attempts. You might see some of those guys start to get nervous. But I think right now, got to be feeling pretty confident. Let's see here. We don't have Stu down there. I was going to pull Stu up. He's a lap down at one point. He finds himself in 4th. But Tell you what, Bill, let's pull up Hollywood here. I'm gonna pull him up because this man, there was a time when the chocolate milk machine was a lap down, just licking his wounds, got the caution. Hollywood, man, you're up there on the podium. We thinking we could win this thing.
Absolutely, there's no doubt in my mind. I got the checkered flag just fogging my brain right now. I need it.
Yeah, man, I was envious of you earlier. You're running in that inside line third place. I felt like that's the perfect spot to be. You're saving fuel, but you have that tough break on your pit stop. And did you think that was going to be it for you? Did you think you'd get another shot at it?
Well, I thought the race was over. I won. I was doing donuts inside pit lane there, but I was a couple of laps premature. But no, I figured there'd be another shot. I needed a yellow to get back in it, and here we are.
Well, hey, Hollywood, you got that thing P3 right behind Chocolate Water. Knock that thing out of the way and bring home the checkered flag, man. What do you say?
I say let's do it, man. The people want to see the chocolate wars and chocolate drink wars, and we're right there, man. Yep. The dark web has been hot about what's going on with the chocolate drink wars, and now we got it. So let's see what we can do.
All right, man. We're hoping the real chocolate milk comes out on top. Good luck here, Roland.
Absolutely. Thanks, man. Thanks for having me.
Good luck, Hollywood.
Yeah, I love that rivalry, Bill. We got the real chocolate milk. Okay, now I'm allergic to chocolate. First off, I don't know if I've ever even told anyone that, so I don't even get to enjoy the chocolate milk. But if I was gonna indulge myself with a little chocolate, which I do from time to time because it is good, I would have to go with the chocolate milk, not the powdered chocolate that Terry's supporting.
Yeah, I'm actually allergic to dark chocolate. It gives me migraines, but regular chocolate, either or, it's good for me.
All right, okay. Yeah, Stu Wright. We got Mike Cramner sitting there fifth. He had that mix up early. He's got a shot to win this thing. Not too sure what happened to the 37 there of Tim Chapman, but he's a lap down now. So, gotta think that's all she wrote for him, unless he's able to get around the pace car and get back on the lead lap. It doesn't look like it here as the lights are off. We'll have our first shot at a green-white checkered. And, well, Bill, not that I'm not confident in these guys, but you know how it goes at Daytona, man. The gloves are off on these green-white checkered attempts. I don't know if this is going to be our only shot.
Oh, there's no thing as teammates at this point. It's just go, go, go.
No, yeah, definitely. I mean, you think you can depend on that guy behind you, but the whole time he was just using you till he saw that white flag come out.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Roll around here. Terry's got to think, too. Do you go early? This isn't one of those tracks where you want to get a big jump on somebody, not like leading at Volusia an hour ago where you want to drop that hammer, get out as far in front as you can. Draft's not going to be your friend if you're the 161 or the 302, so you got to be smart. Got to keep that guy glued to your rear bumper, and you really do. If you want to win this thing, you got to be looking up in the rearview mirror as much as you're looking out of that front windshield. As much as I hate to say that, Bill, but man, if you want to hold this thing off, you got to be playing just as much defense as offense.
Oh, there's no question about it. Terry's one of the best defensive guys there is.
Yeah, he's going to need it. And I'll tell you, somebody who we haven't talked a whole lot about, man, but your good old buddy, Roger Craig, sitting on the outside of row number 3. He could be someone who just comes in and absolutely steals the show as the Steve King Foundation pace car gets ready to pull off. We'll see the flag man grab the green flag here for a little green-white checkered action. Drop the hammer. 2 laps to play at Daytona. Good restart for Terry Landis as well as Roland Olsen. We'll stay close to that 161. Does he think about going to the outside, making it 3 wide here, pushing it early? Yes, he does. He opens it up, but there was a gap. The 302 going to try to see if he can suck up on him, but Hollywood leading the way here, 2 to go. with a wounded duck to the inside. You gotta put your money on Hollywood. Bouncing around here as we go through the pack. Mike Cramner moves on up into that third and final podium spot. All over the back of the 161 of Terry Landis. Roger Craig fighting to try to find a way down to the bottom. He sees it open up. We're running out of time, though. White flag in his hands. It's ready to fly. We're wrecking here. White flag already out. That's going to be it. That is going to be it. We got 4 cars here for it. Who you got? Hollywood, the Desert Demon, Mike Cramner, GJ Boydell. Your guess is as good as mine. Terry Landis looking to the high side. Will he get help? Hollywood floats up, feeds in the right rear, pitches him in the wall. 2 men roll on. Mike Cramner and GJ Boydell. Who is going to come home? All of a sudden, Gary Siegelcow moves himself up into that third and final podium spot, but out front, we're watching the battle. Mike Cramner, he's got to be looking up in that rearview mirror. He throws a block. Greg Boydell looks to the inside. He's got the run. He pulls ahead. Does Mike Cramner suck side draft off? They make contact. Greg Boydell around. He wins Terry Labonte style. Brings home the checkered flag at Daytona. Mike Cramner, P2, and Gary Siegelcow rounds out the podium. Bill, you said it, man. They never disappoint here. They never disappoint. You're always full of excitement at Daytona.
I'm glad to see Greg getting up where he should be. He's a hell of a racer.
Yeah, he really is. He's one of those guys that constantly finds himself in the top 5 and normally not fault of his own, gets involved in something, but he's able to put a whole night together here. The 014. That thing was clean as a whistle till we crossed the checkered flag, but it made it as long as it needed to. And
if I could say one thing here, I just want a big shout out to Greg Boydell myself, because he is doing all my driving for me when in real life. He's taking me to appointments. He's taking me where I need to go, and he's just been a real good help.
So, Bill, what you're actually telling us all is that he's been having extra practice driving then. So you're basically the reason he won the race tonight. All those miles he's logging.
If you want to say that, I mean, I'm not going to argue with you, but
yeah, hey, man, you got to give credit where credit's due. And that was a good run out of these 3 here. Mike Cramner, I believe, not able to make it to victory lane for the photo shot there. Car a little damaged, but front 2 make it. Greg Boydell parks it on the charity stripe. That's a terrible camera view. That's okay. And that one's even worse. So we're going to go back here, but let's try to rewind here, get us back to that last stint of the green-white checkered. So much stuff happened. And Gary Siegelcow, look at this. Starts on the tail end of the lead lap for this green-white checkered and moves on up to P3. I told you, you can't count that 25 of Gary Siegelcow out.
Absolutely not. He always seems to manage to get himself back up there, and it's real good on him.
Yeah, and Gary, hey, you come into that introduction, man. This was not the race you expected. You're one of those guys normally up towards the front. I saw the mistake under pit road there, getting tires, but man, you're able to rebound. You start on the tail end here, the green-white checkered. What is going through your head? Did you think you stood a snowball's chance in hell to come home on this podium? You got a copy, Gary? Well, we might have to wait till Gary gets back with us. He may have went for a as I'm losing my voice, jeez. He may have went for a quick refreshment. I gotta take a drink, jeez. Man, Bill, you take a week off on your voice, man. I am feeling it. I do this with a lot of excitement. My throat, man.
Yeah, I could hear you, Gary.
Oh, you can hear Gary? Is he talking in iRacing chat? Because I don't see him miking up here on the Discord.
Oh, it might be iRacing.
Yeah, that's probably what he's doing. Because, yeah, you and I's bubbles are lighting up here on Discord, but I don't see him. All right, he's going to move back down to the waiting room. For now, we'll pull up P2 here, Mike Cramner. Mike, man, eventful last couple laps there. You know, I gave you the commentator's curse, talked about you being out front, and then, well, we know what happened there. You get sent to the rear, but able to bring this thing back, man. Bring home a P2. How you feeling?
Well, that was, I kind of messed up there. Kind of messed your dad up. Cut down on him. I thought I was clear. Come down on him. I kind of sent myself to the back. So I just got lucky and come up through the field there. And then them two chocolate milk boys, they got to shaking it up. And that was a mess on the back stretch and got me out front. So, and then I just couldn't keep Boydell. He was rolling. I was trying to block, but he was rolling.
Yeah, I mean, obviously you want to inherit the lead, but you got to be thinking there, Mike, probably the worst time to inherit it, all by yourself, just you two going down the backstretch. But, man, you put up a good fight. You guys rubbed fenders, and, man, one of the closest finishes we've ever seen. That was a great cap to the night. So, good run, Mike. Congratulations on the P2, man. Who you want to thank?
Well, I definitely want to thank Masked Avenger for putting on the event, Coast to Coast Racing League for all they do, the admins and everybody behind the scene, and just really great to see Willie back racing with us. Really glad to hear him and be out on the track with him. So definitely grateful for that.
Well, thank you, Mike.
Well, hey, great run, Mike, and look forward to talking to you a lot more this season, man. Definitely a contender for this championship. Good luck.
Thank you, Shaggy. Thanks for what you do.
Let's see here. Hey, Gary, do we got you now? I'm not seeing your Discord light up.
Yeah, I'm still hearing him, but I guess he must be still on the race.
Let me see here. Let me see. I can cheat. I can turn on iRacing sound. People will see it. Let me see if I can hear him now. Mike up in.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah. You're talking through iRacing. I can see it popping up on iRacing. All right, we can do the interview this way. No big deal. But hey, Gary, man, you probably heard what I said there in the beginning, but man, you had probably the most excitement on that last lap, or those last two laps. You watched the C's part in front of you. Was there any chance you thought you were going to bring home a podium, or were you just trying to plug away and get what you could?
I actually thought I finished fourth. I followed your dad until it was time to the last lap, and you know how it goes on the last lap. You let everything go.
Yeah, and it was probably hard to tell, but yeah, my dad, he was stuck a lap down, so being able to just run behind him, and that's the P3. That's what this is all about. And some nights you're gonna have hiccups, but when you can shake them off and bring home podiums, that's how you win championships. And this is a great run for you, Gary. Hopefully you got a lot more coming this season, man. But before I kick you out of here, who you want to thank?
Mauer Management and AJ, correct? Whoever is doing this one. C2C, everybody in the retreads, and all my buddies in Venom Racing, and you for doing a broadcast.
Well, hey, great run, Gary, and I know this ain't going to be the last time I'm talking to you this season, man. Good run.
Yeah, thank you. I'll be away next week, though. My wife turns 60 tomorrow, so I'm taking her to Key West.
Oh, well, hey, man, tell her I said happy birthday and enjoy the vacation, Gary. Behave yourself down there.
I'll do my best.
All right, brother. Good run.
Thank you.
That's Gary Sigelkow, your third place finisher. And now we made him wait long enough, Greg. But, hey, I kind of got some information. We figured out how you won this thing. It's been all that road time driving my man Bill around here, and for that we love you, Greg. You earned this one. Great run, man.
Thanks, Zach. I appreciate it. I apologize for my voice. I'm just getting over the end of the cold.
Well, you couldn't tell with the way you drove that thing. I mean, you're smooth as silk out there. One of the only guys. I try not to beat people up, man, but I call people out when they bounce around a little bit. And Greg, I mean, you're smooth the whole time. You get caught up in nonsense that's not yours in the middle point there of the race, but able to plug away. And what are you thinking there? Coming out of turn 2, the last lap, you see the chocolate milk boys mix it up, and man, you're in the prime spot there.
I just want to stay on the low line, and I was going to help Mike and push him through and see if I could maybe get third out of it. But yeah, when they started to turn, I started lining Mike up in 3 and 4.
Well, I mean, you're able to plug away, Greg, and this is one of those races, man, that I just, I almost expect you to come out of nowhere and win. If you're hanging out in the top 5, you always race smart. You put yourself in that spot, and man, you're rewarded tonight. Congratulations. Who you want to thank?
Thanks. I want to thank you and the Master Avenger and C2C and everybody that puts in the time to volunteer to make this every race work for us.
Well, you're doing an amazing job. Sorry to overstep on you, Bill. I'll let you talk here. I just saw you mic up, but Greg, it is you do not get the credit you deserve for the friend you are to this man. I know he tells you he appreciates it, but the whole way down here in the States, man, we appreciate you keeping him up and always being a good friend, Greg. You're an awesome person. We're lucky to have you.
Thanks, Zach. It's funny, I was just saying to Mike, Bill and Roger and my dad and my grandpa all worked at the same steel factory, and it goes back as far as 65 years. So it's just a big family. So stepping up to help Bill was just natural. It just had to happen. I'm not going to let somebody suffer on their own through this stuff.
Oh, yeah, Greg, I just wanted to remind you that I'll see you on Thursday. I got 2 appointments.
Yes, sir. It's already in my calendar.
Oh, that's great.
But he's buying lunch, Zach.
He
promised.
Yeah, you got to get. Where are we going? Where are we going for lunch? What's the choice up there in Canada?
I don't know. I leave that up to Bill. It's his east end of Hamilton is his part of town, so it's his choice because he's paying. So
we have a restaurant. It's called Bedrock Bistro, and it's based on the Flintstones, and it's a great place.
All right. Well, you're gonna have to send him the link. Maybe we'll get some percentage off that meal here.
Well, we'll talk to him about sponsorship when we're there, Zach.
Yeah, there we go, man. Hey, you never know. You got to try to work it in there somehow. But hey, great run, Greg. Man, it's so awesome. Nobody earned this or deserved this more than you. Congratulations, and I hope I'm talking to you more, man. Maybe we can bring home another championship this year.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes. And like I said, I'm almost over this freaking cold that's been going around and starting to get my voice back. So it means I can talk more. So that's not maybe a good thing, but anyway, thanks again. And helping out with Bill and helping the league is just all fun. That's all it is.
Yeah, man, it definitely is. That's why you guys wrote me in every time. You guys are definitely a family to me. Even though I've never met you, very friendly and blessed to be able to broadcast your guys' races. But great run tonight, Greg, and thanks for joining me up here, Bill.
Yeah, and I hope your tests went well the other day.
Yeah, well, the doctor who ran the test, man, oh man, they didn't do a good job. You're supposed to get poked 1 time for a spinal tap, Greg, 2 at most. I got stabbed 5 times before they found that sac. So I leaked out a bunch of fluid, and those were where my migraines were coming from.
Oh, boy. Yeah, well, no, see, you don't get near this guy with a needle, so.
Yeah, I should have took your advice.
When I go for surgery, they get a frying pan, they hit me over the head, knock me out, and then put the IV in. So.
Well, hey, great run, Greg. And, man, I know this won't be the last time I'm talking to you. Good luck the rest of the way.
Yep. Have a good night, folks.
And, well, with that here, we're going to end up kicking off on the Coast to Coast Racing Network. But, Bill, I know it wasn't a long time, man. Thanks for sitting up here with me. I enjoyed the company.
Oh man, it was really great to be with you. Thanks for letting me stay with you. I enjoyed it.
Oh, yeah, anytime, Bill. But on behalf of everyone here at the Coast to Coast Racing Network, all the admins, Roger, Craig, I'm Zach Chapman saying so long, and we'll see you tomorrow night at Huset's for Hometown Heroes. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Don't miss a show.